Welcome to this tutorial. Welcome to this chapter on the progress tracker within your recruitment workflow. Now, in order to access this, we'll go to one of the jobs created. And from there, we will go to applications and go towards the end of the recruitment workflow so that we can see a whole example of a finished assessment progress tracker. So this is the progress tracker. So these are two consecutive interview stages where in the panel interview you can add multiple stakeholders to join as well. Then we have the offered stage and hire stage. We will first go and see the CV evaluation for the applied candidate first, and then we'll move through all of the different steps within the progress tracker in turn. So, as I mentioned, the first thing that happens is the CV evaluation takes place the moment the profile is created for the candidate and they have applied for the role. Initially, at the very top, we have the overall CV match score, where we can see the percentage rating by the system of the technical skills, soft skills mentioned within the CV, experience level based on the JD that we've created within Staffio, industry match, education certification, and domain expertise. Further down below, we have the technical skills match or business skills match, depending on the role that they've applied for. And we have a breakdown of what's required, again, based on the JD, what is found in the CV, and then the level of matching plus observations by the system. This is being picked up. Then we have a soft skills indicator based on the soft skills that the given candidate possesses and what they've mentioned on their CV. And lastly, we have JD requirement plus candidate experience breakdown made by the system, followed by education certification mapping, location and availability, and a final evaluations metric, plus an AI summary of the overall CV. Now, after this is done, we go to the virtual pre-screening. Here you have the answers to the different questions that you have posed within your template. And then you have the analytics bit where you can jump into any of the questions. You can see the whole answer recorded, but also you can just go and see you see the transcript as well, and you can just go and see the summary from the AI and the score given for the question at hand. And this applies for all of the other questions. Then you have a sentiment and behavioral analysis breakdown, followed by strengths and weaknesses. And at the very top, you have the overall score for this step, for this stage. Following this, you have the skills assessment, where here, as you can see, 15 questions. This is the generic AI skills assessment, not the rubrics one or the manual template one. Here, by the way, the logic in terms of the analysis being done by the system applies the same, be it the rubrics AI generated assessment or the manual assessment. Here we have the overall accuracy. So all 15 out of 15 questions have been answered correctly. However, as you can see here, 84%. Why? Because we have subjective answers as well, essay-based questions, where there is a subjectivity on the level of correct response, which we'll see in a second. So you have the overall accuracy rate, you have the time efficiency in terms of the easy, medium, and hard questions, how they've been answered and how long it took on average for the candidate to answer them. You have a performance by difficulty also as a breakdown between the easy, medium, and hard questions. You have a spider chart of the skill-specific performance being done. And then here you have, you can jump into any of the questions. Usually the first questions in the auto-generated AI skills assessment are the essay-based questions. And here you can see the response given by the candidate and the AI feedback rating and AI feedback summary as well. Now, bear in mind also that we have version 1 of our plagiarism check in place where the whole screen opens up. and the camera is recording the person whilst they're doing the assessment. If they try to cover the camera or they try to minimize the tab, then this is picked up by the report at the very end. And they also get a warning if they try to close the tab or like minimize the screen once they commence the assessment. Now, here you can see time taken. It shows you how long it took them to do the test. As you can see, the essay-based questions took some more time to answer, whereas the multiple choice are usually on average around half a minute to a minute max, which is standard. This is also an additional indicator that can show if, let's say, for example, the essay-based questions have been answered in 30 seconds, then something might be wrong, or they might be cheating in some ways, be it from mobile or any other device that they might be using. Here at the bottom, again, you have strengths and weaknesses breakdown. And that's it with regards to the skills assessment stage. Now, lastly, you have the interview insights panel interview, where the same logic applies for both. When you're scheduling the interview, we advise you to use the internal bit so that the interview can take place within the platform, and the recording then can be analyzed by the system for the hard and soft skills, and whatever has been discussed, be it technical in nature or business specific, it can be analyzed by the system. So here is an example. The interview insight stage has already taken place. When we go to the analytics bit, we can see, and initially for the soft skills bit, we're not a psychometric testing system. We're not certified for that. However, given most of our advisors that are supporting our product are psychologists and psychiatrists by background, we've implemented some initial methodologies like the OCEAN methodology and STAR methodology to give an overview of the soft skills bit. With regards to the actual hard skills and what has been discussed, here we see it was a shorter interview. There was one major topic being discussed. The whole answer and transcript below is depicted by the system. And then this is analyzed and AI feedback plus scoring is given by the system on what has been discussed. Again, we have, similar to the virtual pre-screening, behavioral and speech analysis of the candidate, and then a sentiment timeline, as well as speaker balance, who spoke more, interviewer talent, the whole transcript as well. You can download it here or go through it if need be, and if you want to jump into something specific. And then at the very end, based on the whole interview that took place, you have AI recommendations by the system, AI summary of how well the candidate performed, what they demonstrated as strengths, and what could be further improved. Now, after all of this is done, feedback here by the recruiter can be added as well. And so we suggest that this is done because now in the upcoming upgrade to our report, which you can generate here, the report takes all the breakdown, all the analytics of the different stages, from CV analysis to virtual pre-screening, skills assessment, and interview insights, panel interview, so that you have a summary page showing what the highlights are for this candidate. And then you have, again, that analytics breakdown that we saw in each and every stage. You'll be able to get it in the report for a deep dive if you want to go and see something specific. But the most important bits will be in the first 1 to 2 pages, and they'll be summarized there. Now, what will be coming up now in September is the option to generate different types of reports depending on the stakeholders that will be reading them. So in one case scenario, you have the hiring manager, and another at CXO level, you want another type of report where other metrics are more vital and important for that persona. So you'll be able to generate different types of reports. But the important thing that I was mentioning here, just back to the feedback notes, when the recruiter adds those notes, those would be summarized and added to any of those different types of reports. So it's important for whoever's using this platform to make sure that at the end, after the interview, any notes, any comments that they have, that they add them here as well. Now, and here at the very bottom, you have the performance summary overall. All of this will be depicted in the report, which when you click, you can just download it. And lastly, let's say that you haven't added your hiring managers as customers on the platform, or they are not one of your standard users within Staffio. A third way to contact them besides emailing them internally is also from here. You can just click on the share button and enable, let's say for internal purposes, enable all the information that you want to share. You can drag and drop the real CV plus the report that has been generated. Add a few additional notes that you might have for that candidate and just share it with the hiring manager directly. This can be done. For agencies that are using us, here you have also the option to share anonymized CVs and share or refrain from sharing specific details depending on the level of involvement you have with the given client at hand. So this is very helpful when you quickly want to share information with the hiring manager or client. Lastly, also here we have the option to just click and open the whole profile of the person, their interactive profile, what also they see when they sign up. And further down here, you can download the original CV as well and have a look at it. This is it in a nutshell. What's coming up and we'll be updating later this month is the offered stage and hired stage, where you'll be able to also go through KYC, so electronic know your customer, where the final candidate that receives an offer can verify that it's them. Also, you will be able to send an offer letter and accept the offer letter and the contract within here and get them to the hiring stage. After which, at least for now, depending on your systems that you're using, you can either just download the report and everything and take it offline, or we can help you with integrating with any HMRS system that you're using internally for the next steps of the onboarding process. This was the chapter on Progress Tracker and the recruitment workflow. I hope you find it useful. For any additional questions, you can always reach out to me directly or to our team. You are now a user of Staffio AI and you have access to the support channel. So if you have any questions or any suggestions as well, as you know, we're always happy to hear them and implement them as quickly as possible. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next chapter.